Hey guys, Lisa Spaniak here from lifelikeyoumeanit.com, and I've just come on live so that we can talk about other ways to be able to cope with your anxiety. So first of all, happy Easter. It is Monday, so Easter Monday. I hope that you are all able to have a lovely Easter, albeit a different one than you perhaps expected, and certainly perhaps different from what you've ever had before. But I would love to talk today about how you can reframe your perspective. So all of the tips that I give, and if you're watching this on Instagram, go on over to my IGTV and check out all my other videos there. If you're watching in Facebook or YouTube, then go and check out all the other videos under the coping with anxiety realm that I've got, or playlist that I have, because all of these tips that I'm giving you are not just designed to help during coronavirus. They're all the tips that you can be using at any time, because anxiety is huge. It's something that just about every single person on this planet is going to have to face at some point in time in their lives, if not through their whole lives. So coping with anxiety is really an important skill to be able to have. And so some of the tips that I'm giving you are in terms of immediate strategies that you can do, like stopping and deeply breathing, for example, things like that, doing meditation, even doing yoga, getting outside, just opening up the window and getting fresh air, things along those lines. But what I'm also a very big fan of doing is giving you strategies that you could be implementing every day, regardless if you're experiencing anxiety in that particular moment. And you can use these strategies to start to shift your perspective and shift your mindset, meaning that you will experience less anxiety overall, which means you won't need to pull out as many coping strategies from your bag of tricks in the long run. So one of these ways to do this is by reframing your perspective. And what I mean by that is we're not going to look at a negative situation and say, oh, it's not negative at all, it's completely positive. No, we're just going to ignore all this negative stuff. It's not about that. It's not about pretending like you're living in a world that doesn't exist, or pretending that you're living in a time that we're not all living in, or pretending that you're not experiencing something that you're experiencing. That's not what it's about. What it's about is being able to actually stop, recognize and acknowledge that you're feeling this way, that the anxiety has built, the fear maybe has come on, the panic or whatever is happening, the negative thoughts, the worry, whatever it is, and acknowledge them, accept them, say, I get it. I'm experiencing stress right now. So let me just take a look at the way that I'm experiencing it. What's triggering me off here? And is it possible for me to just shift slightly so that I can save myself a whole lot of pain, right? So one of the ways to do that is to be really real with yourself and ask yourself some really pertinent questions. So for example, just asking yourself by starting out and asking, where is the anxiety coming from? And I know that that might sound really, really stupid right now during coronavirus. Obviously, the anxiety is coming from that. But that's not what I mean. The surface trigger might be the coronavirus itself, or whatever kind of subsequent snowball effect has happened because of that. Maybe it's the isolation or losing your job or whatever it is. But it's the underlying button that that trigger is pressing. So it's the need to feel like you're in control, the need to feel like you're safe, right? Things like that is really what the underlying trigger has been, right? Coronavirus is just the surface structure that's actually triggered it. So by allowing yourself to really get clear on what it is that's causing the anxiety, then you can actually step back and take a more logical kind of approach to it and say, okay, yeah, I get it. I am isolated. I'm lonely. Okay, so now I can actually start to make a plan now that I've understood what's causing the anxiety. So maybe the plan is, that you make arrangements with somebody that you can check in with every single day with a video chat or a phone call or an email, a text message, anything at all, whatever. That's going to be up to you to figure out what will work for you in each circumstance. But of course, ultimately, the goal is to be able to sit back anytime that you are experiencing anxiety, figure out what the root of it is. So like the example I just gave you, feeling like you're not safe or feeling like you're not in control, and saying, okay, you know what? That need is absolutely valid for me to meet. How can I logically meet this need without actually causing myself more harm? Because oftentimes we make a lot of decisions that feel like they're meeting that need, but in the long run, they're actually putting us in a worst case scenario, right? So we make decisions to close down our business or to shut ourselves off from our friends and our family that are trying to reach out to us, for example, because that's our way of kind of coping. But when you sit back and you actually ask yourself these questions, you start to realize, okay, so I'm actually being triggered because I'm very lonely right now. And my way of dealing with that is to actually isolate myself even further. You know what? I'm going to actually call myself on this, and I'm going to start to make myself a little plan. And I'm going to make it little. I'm going to make it gentle. I'm going to actually put some things down on some piece of paper so that tomorrow when I wake up, I can look at it and go, yeah, that's right. I did tell myself I'm going to do that. And kind of your way of holding yourself accountable. But you're going to make them tangible. You're going to make them things that you can actually do. So, reaching out to 2 or 3 people that you feel really safe with and actually saying, you know what, I'm really struggling with the isolation part. Would you mind having a video chat with me each day? Or would you mind, just having a text message exchange or whatever it is that you're going to feel comfortable with? This isn't about pushing yourself so far out of the box that you cause more anxiety. It's about getting real with yourself so that you can start to realize, actually, I might be physically by myself in my home, but I'm actually not alone. I'm not as isolated as what I thought I was because I have all of this network around me that I can tap into, right? And you can do that with every single scenario, everything that you experience. You can do the same thing once you're able to tap in what the real, true cause of that anxiety is. And then you can start asking yourself some serious questions about it and decide for yourself what's going to work for you to tackle that. I hope that has helped. Please, please, please go over onto my IGTV. Check out, I've got about 12, 13, maybe even 14 other videos that all tackle other very specific tips for coping with anxiety. If I can help you today, I would love to know about it, because this is why I do what I do. This is part of what helps me cope with my anxiety, is to actually put my tips and tricks out there and knowing that I'm helping to make a difference in the world. So I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear about what's working, what's not working, what tweaks you have done to actually make something work for you, and any other suggestions that you have to coping with anxiety that work for you. Bless, happy Easter, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.